Hi friends, and welcome to another fun video. Today I will be sharing how to crochet these super awesome jumbo size leggy frogs. To begin our jumbo leggy frog, I am using this light blue yarn. It's a size 7 jumbo yarn, and I will be using my 8mm hook. And to begin our leggy frog, we are going to do a slip knot on our hook, and then we're going to chain 21. Once you've done your chain of 21, we are going to do a total of 40 single crochets. So we're going to work on both sides of these chains. We're going to do 20 single crochet on this side, and then we're going to do 20 single crochet on the other side. So starting from the second chain from the hook, here's the first one and here's the second one. So we're going to insert our hook in this chain and do 20 single crochets. Here I've completed 20 single crochets on one side of my chain, and I wanted to show you how I do it on the other side. So I can see the first bump right there. So I'll just insert my hook on the other side and continue doing 20 single crochets on this side. So at the end of this round, you'll have a total of 40 single crochets. I've completed my 40 single crochets. So now I'm going to insert my hook in that first single crochet, slip stitch, and do a chain 1. So that's row 1. And for row 2, all we're going to do is 1 single crochet all the way around, completing 40 single crochets. And for the size 7 yarn, sometimes it could be a little difficult to see your starting stitch, so I just like to add like a little bobby pin here, like a little stitch marker there, so I know that's my first single crochet. So this round is very simple. Just do 1 single crochet around, completing 40. I'll meet you when you're done. Okay, I just completed my second round, and now I'm going to slip stitch on the top of that first single crochet and chain 1. And to begin round 3, we're going to do 2 single crochets, and then we're going to do a bobble stitch next. So a bobble stitch is putting your yarn in, almost like a single crochet, but only going through the loop once, 2, 3, and 4. So now I have 5 loops on my hook. I'm going to go through all of them. And then I'm going to proceed to do 14 single crochets here. Single crochets from this bobble stitch, and I will do another bobble stitch here. Insert your hook, pull the yarn through, yarn over, and pull through 1 loop. Insert your hook, pull the yarn over, pull through 1 loop. Do that again, and 1 more time. So now I have a total of 5 loops on my hook there, and I'm going to yarn over and pull through all the loops. Now I'm just going to continue doing single crochets all the way for the rest of the round, so we'll still have a total of 40 single crochets. Well, including the bobble stitch, still 40 stitches around. So I'll meet you when you're done. So here is what our project is looking like so far. That's the top of the leggy frog there. So for the next 6 rounds, for rows 4 through 9, we're just going to do 1 single crochet a round. So we're going to expand this a little bit more. So go ahead and do 6 rows of 1 single crochet a round, still completing 40 single crochets per round. So do these 6 rows and I'll meet you when you're done. Okay friends, so this is what our leggy frog is looking like so far. I completed my 9 rounds and now we're going to add the arms. So for the next round, we're going to do 3 single crochets. There we go. 1, 2, and 3. And those 3 single crochets brought us to the side of the leggy frog. You can see the arm right there on the green one. So now we are going to do a chain of 26. Once we complete our 26 chains, we're going to do 6 half double crochets down the chains here. Starting from the 2nd chain from the hook, we're going to work 6 half double crochets. There we go. And then we're going to do the 2nd finger on the arm. So we're going to do a chain of 6. Now we're going to work 5 half double crochets down these chains, starting from the 2nd chain from the hook, and the 6th one will go in that same space of the last one on this one. So in this space there will be 2 of them. There's the leggy frog's fingers. And now we are going to work our way back down these chains. So we're going to do a total of 19 half double crochets all the way to the bottom to this last stitch there. So do your 19 half double crochets and I'll meet you when you're done. I've completed my 19 single crochets to finish the first arm there. So the next thing we're going to do is a slip stitch in that same stitch we did our single. So here's the beginning of the round. We started off with 3 single crochets, 1, 2, 3. So in this 3rd stitch, we're going to do a slip stitch. And there we have it. There's our first leggy arm. So now we're going to continue and do 17 half double crochets and we'll do another arm there. I completed my second arm there, and I'm going to finish this round by doing a slip stitch in that same stitch there. And then I will proceed to finish this round by doing 20 single crochets. So go ahead and finish this row, and I'll meet you when you're done. Okay friends, to begin row 11, we're just going to do 1 single crochet all the way around. But I wanted to show you how I maneuver around these arms here, because I know sometimes it could be a little difficult to see the stitches. So I'll show you how I do it. So let's start our round 1, 2, and 3. So I know it'd be a little hard to see, but the 4th stitch is right here, friends. It's move this little leggy arm over. So it'll be this one right here. I know it's a little tight because from the previous round when we did the arm, we did a slip stitch in that same stitch right there. So this stitch right here is going to feel a little tight, but you can always put a stitch marker there so you can see the stitches. And the same for the other arm. See, here's one stitch here, and then here's the other one, and then just put this to the side here, and then here you can see the following stitch there. I think this is the only part that could be a little difficult, especially for beginners, because sometimes these stitches just get lost. So I just pull this over to the side, and I'll just insert my hook in that 4th stitch right here and continue my single crochets. Before we move on with the rest of the pattern, I would like to add the eyes, the safety eyes, and embroider the smile. So the kind of eyes I use are these 40mm safety eyes. I ordered these by the bulk on AliExpress, and I'm very happy with them. They're very sturdy and very attractive. So here's what they look like. It didn't come with the color, they all came clear. I like to customize my safety eyes. Here I used a glitter sheet. I ordered these on Amazon. It was a pack of 10, I believe, or maybe about $2 to $3. But as you can see, one sheet will go a very long way for me. So what I did is I just took the backing of the safety eyes and I just traced it. I cut it out, and then I just cut the middle like in a crisscross right there. So I'll be able to feed it through the safety eyes just like this. And there you have it. Very pretty. And also, if you don't have these size, you can use any size eyes pretty much. You can even embroider them on. It doesn't have to be quite this large. The only thing I recommend is not to use anything too small for a leggy frog this size with the size 7 jumbo yarn, only because the stitches in between are kind of large. So if you use a smaller safety eye, it could fall out or it could go in over time. So something large would work better for a project this size. So here I am going to attach the safety eyes. I'll do it right below this bump here. What row is this? 1, 2, 3, 4. So between 4 and 5, I just eyeball it. I put it right here, right underneath that bump and underneath this bump. That looks good to me. They're even, and then I will embroider the smile. So what I like to do is I take an extra step for these kind of eyes. Don't want to take the risk of it coming out. So you know, especially for kids. You want to make it as safe as possible. So I take an extra step and I'll put a couple of drops of this very strong glue, this Gorilla Glue, and I will put it on the back of the safety eyes, and then I'll snap it in. Snap it in and it stays on there very secure. I've never had an issue with the safety eyes coming out using this technique. And also, another thing I do, I think I mentioned it in one of my other videos, sometimes these safety eyes, friends, can be quite difficult to pop in. The backings can be a little difficult. So what I do is I use this little bolt here and I use it as leverage, and I will press down on it and it'll pop in quite nicely. I know there's fancy gadgets out there to help with this, but I don't have one of those yet. But this seems to be work. I've been doing this for many years. I've never had an issue. Alrighty, friends, so I'll go ahead and attach my safety eyes and I'll be right back. It is time to embroider the smile, and I use a 3mm hook and a size 4 velvet yarn. So to embroider it, I usually insert my hook and I will start right in this row here. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Between 7 and 8, I'll start right here and I'll try my best to embroider a smile all the way to the other side here. And if you don't want to do a smile, you can just embroider something straight and, you know, make it a little grumpy leggy frog. I've seen those before. I find that also adorable. But what I'm going to do a smile on this fellow. So what I do is I'll just insert my hook where I want to begin, and I will pull the yarn through from the inside of my project. And what I'm basically doing is I'm going to do a slip stitch to create the smile. That's all it pretty much is. So once I grab hold of the yarn, I will insert my hook again and pull the yarn through. Insert, pull the yarn through. Like I said, I eyeball the smile here, but you can certainly add stitch markers there as a guideline to help you create the smile. But because it's such a small line, it doesn't take much effort, I believe, to create a smile there. Let me see how that looks so far. Okay, so far so good. So I started about here, so I think I will end it right about there. Just a sweet little smile on this guy. Okay, I'll pull that yarn through. And there we have it. So what I'll do here from the inside of my project, I will just pull this yarn through. And then I'll just weave in these ends right here. And there we have it, a cute little smile on this guy. All right, let's continue the rest of the pattern. To continue our leggy frog pattern, we're going to do 9 rows of 1 single crochet all the way around. So for rows 12 through 20, just do 1 row of single crochet all the way around, and I will meet you at the end of row 20. Here I am at the end of row 20, and for row 21 we're going to add the legs. I'm going to position my legs right about here. I think that's a good placement for it. This is what the back of the project looks like. As you can see, my starting rounds kind of shift a little bit there. So I'll have to reposition my yarn to bring it forward so I can do the first leg. I want to position my legs roughly around in this area. So to begin the round, we are going to do 7 single crochets. And just a friendly tip, it depends on your tension. If you feel like you need to remove a single crochet or add a little bit more, you can always customize where you'd like the legs positioned. Everyone's tension is different. So for me, I felt like I could add the first leg right about there. So you can customize it to your liking. And adding the leg is the exact same pattern as the arm. The only thing we're doing is adding an extra toe to the leg. The arms, I have 2 fingers, but for the toes, I add an extra toe. For the legs, I'm sorry, I'll add an extra toe. And then after I do this, I'll do 14 single crochets. I'll do another leg and finish the round with 19 single crochets. So at the end of this round, you should still have 40 single crochets. For rows 22, all we're doing is 1 single crochet all the way around, totaling 40 single crochets for this round. So this is what this little fellow is looking like so far. He's looking pretty good. We have 1 round left to go. So for round 23, we are going to do 1 single crochet in the back loop only. And here I'm trying to point out the back loop. This one here that's closest to my thumb is the front loop, and that one there is the back loop. Right there. So this is where we're going to insert our hook for this round only. So as you can see the little bumps there, that's the round we're working on. This is our last round. So instead of entering the hook through both loops, just enter your hook, do the first loop to begin your round. So go ahead and complete 40 single crochets in the back loop only, and I'll meet you when you're done. I have completed round 23, and now we are going to do a whip stitch. But first I need to reposition my yarn to the corner there. So what I do is I'll lay my project nice and flat and count how many stitches I need to do in order to reposition my yarn right there in the corner. So for this, I think I did about 7 slip stitches. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, my apologies. I only did 5. So I did 5 slip stitches just to reposition my yarn there at the very corner. And that's where I'm going to begin my whip stitching. This is where we close it out. And I will whip stitch it maybe halfway through, and then I'll start to fill it with fiber fill. Remember to leave a long tail in order to allow yourself some thread there to weave it through. This kind of yarn can be quite temperamental, so sometimes it breaks apart. But here I am, I'm beginning to do my whip stitch. And a friendly tip is I like to do it twice in the very corners, just to give it extra security. So I'm going to do a whip stitch. I'm going to stop halfway through to begin adding the fiber fill here. Now you can fill it as much as you like. You can make it soft or I'm pretty generous with the fiber fill there. I like it. I like to create my plushies nice and firm because over time, the firmness holds its shape a lot better. So here I am, just giving it a nice little massage, making sure there aren't any lumps or it's clumpy, and finishing up there. And then I just kind of weave it through and just weave in my ends, just again and again to make sure that it doesn't get undone. I fasten off, and there he is. He's looking pretty good. So now I'm going to add some blush. This is totally optional. You don't have to do it, but I like to add a little cuteness, extra cuteness. So here I am with my bright pink yarn and my 6-inch tapestry needle. If you don't have one of these regular tapestry needles will do just fine. I love this 6-inch tapestry needle. It makes it very easy to embroider or add features to jumbo size plushies. So here I am just inserting my needle at some random spot, and I usually add the blush underneath the eyes, but off to the side a little bit. I usually go over a couple of stitches, but up one row there, so it kind of goes up. It looks a little perky. I'll weave it through the other side and try to even it out as much as I can. And I loop it around twice. I will go ahead and pull it through to the beginning there. I'll create a knot and just weave it in. And there we have it. The blush is very easy to apply, and I think it gives it a little extra cuteness. So there we go. I'll just weave that in with my hook there, and we're all done. There we go. How cute is this guy? He's nice and firm and sturdy, and he's a nice huggable size. And by the way, I wanted to make a little note here on the amount of yarn I used. I use an entire ball of size 7 yarn, which is about 109 yards per ball, and a little bit of a second ball. I just needed enough for that last row and to do the whip stitch. So my guess is anywhere between 10 to 15 feet of yarn I needed there. So a little over a ball of yarn. But there we have it, guys. Look how cute they look. These make great gifts. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for joining me. And remember to hit that subscribe button. Thank you, guys. Bye.